Hi everybody, we're going to do a morning flow routine. So if you wake up stiff in the morning, these are the moves that I would personally do myself. Okay, so we're going to start on all fours. So make sure your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are tracking the hips. I want you to start to engage through your pelvic floor so you'll feel a drawing up through the lower abs. Draw up to your highest height, then engage your core. Then start to bring your chin to your chest, arching the spine for cat. Then slowly taking the chin up towards the ceiling. So let's flow with this. 10 sets, slow and controlled. So if you experience pain in the morning, just try and carefully ease into these moves. Depending on how you feel, slow. Really working the movement through the torso. Make sure you're trying to get your chin up towards the ceiling as high as you can to stretch the neck. And you're really teaming with that breath. Flowing that breath through the whole of the body is getting the oxygen to the muscles. And we're also working on that somatic breathing, which calms down the pain. We're going to come to a neutral position. I'm going to do those head and hip turns, slow and controlled. So pushing the hip out, you're looking at the hip, taking it to the other side, swaying that pelvis. Really lengthening. Stretching through those back muscles, still activate through that pelvic floor. Things will release a lot faster if you do engage it properly. Really work with that breath. One more either side. Then release. I want you to slowly lower down towards the floor now. We're going to take it to Cobra. So if you've got a bit of back pain, try and go more with the legs. Exhale, slowly peel up, activate the bottom at the top. Slow and controlled, release the bottom as you're going down. Keeping your view at the floor. Activate, pulling the shoulder back and down to the back pocket, so you're not elevating through there. I will keep the forearms down. If you need a more of a gentle cobra, you can fold your arms underneath your head and work a smaller move first. Be aware of how you feel. Is there any tightness that you need to be aware of? And slowly lower. Fold the arms. We're going to work prone leg lift, so we're going to keep our hip bones contacted. You could tuck under the toes of the opposite leg. And we're going to think about lengthening. Really squeeze the bottom, straightening that leg as if someone's pulling it away from you. So we're going to work 10 one side, in 10 the other. This is going to help release the hip flexor. It might look like I'm bending through my knee, but that's just my natural body alignment. I am straightening as much as I can. But I'm keeping the contact of the hip bone towards the floor. Let's take it to the other side when you've done your 10. And let's start to compare. Keep your head down so you're not hyperextending. Otherwise it's going to activate that lower back. and we're trying to stabilise that area. Still think about activating that bottom muscle, the glute. Is your pelvic floor and abdominals on? Really work on that breath. When you've done your 10, draw the arms by the side and take it to your child pose. So I would stay here, breathing deeply into the lower back, pulling your shoulder blades back and down. Let's do hands by heels in shell. Let's breathe deeply. Okay, let's widen those knees and take those lower legs out, and we're going to take it to a wide hip stretch. I'll show you from the front. So we're going to take the knees and the lower legs out, like into a frog position. Come forward and just work on pushing back slightly. This is going to open up your hips to take the tension off your back. So I'm going to turn back to the side view now. So it's larger than my mat. Keep trying to push back so you're opening up those hips. You might feel it in the inner groin area, the inner thigh muscles. And push back a little bit more if you can. Breathe deeply into the area. It may be uncomfortable. Okay, let's walk those legs back in and let's take arms extended out to a lat stretch. So you're just going to pull down those shoulder blades to the back pocket. Don't sit your bottom down yet. So keep pushing. You can do a little wiggle here, side to side. So you're just releasing those tight back muscles that go into the pelvis. You can bring the arm over to the other side and work on more of a side stretch. I'm still hovering the head between the arms, keeping it in line with my vertebrae. Then you can take your hands to the oven, stretch that, start to compare it. And carefully come back up. Come to all fours. Take it to a chest stretch. Quite often get tight here. Then we're going to take it to all four Superman. So, the first move we're going to work on a slide but an elevation of the opposite arm, but a slide of the legs, slow and controlled, stay stabilised. Slow and controlled, take it to the other. So you're balancing those drinks on the hip bone. As you can see with my leg down, I'm pushing through the heel, so I'm getting a calf stretch in as well. 6 sets, 12 reps. We'll be coming back to this move, so we'll work on an elevation of the leg on the next set. But we're just trying to get the pelvis working in a stabilising position. And release. Okay, we're going to work opposite hand to toe and we're going to turn to look at it. So we're getting our size of back and size of waist in. Carefully return. Repeat 5 more to make 6. If that's too difficult and you can't reach it, just lift up that leg and aim for it like this. It's still going to get the size of the back and the waist in. If you've got good mobility there, You can work on picking up that foot to stretch that thigh even further. Okay, let's take it to the other side for 6. Carefully coming back to that hover or placing down. I like to hover my knee when I come back to my position, but I'm trying to be as accurate as I can. And release. Let's go back to the Superman. If you need to cat flick those wrists, do so. Just resetting those wrists. Okay, back to the Superman. This time we're going to elevate, or you could still slide like we did in the beginning position. Slow and controlled. So we're getting the left and the right side of the body working together. That's what a lot of stiffness is caused from. Overusing of one side. If you're getting cramp in your feet, you can always tuck your toes under of the other leg each time, if that's more comfortable. Being as controlled as I can. One more set. And release. Let's come up onto high kneeling. Let's just start to shoulder roll out. Well done. So you could finish the video here if you're wanting a quick mobilisation. If you want to carry on, stay online, because I'm going to carry on with some more moves. So we're going to work a side bend, coming over, slow and controlled. Take it to the side bend, the other side. Slow and controlled. Bring the arms together, sit down into a hip thrust. Repeat. So I'm lengthening out of the torso when I'm drawing the hand over the head and keeping the shoulder blade down. I sit back on those heels. When I sit down here and then I come up, I squeeze my bottom to stretch these hip flexors. One more set. Coming back up onto high kneeling. Take it to a spine twist, keeping hips stable. So we're just flushing the waist, any tightness around the back. If it's too strong, by lengthening through the lever of the arms, you could fold here, but just make sure the hips don't move and carry on with your position there. So you can alter your moves depending on how you're feeling. Last one. Okay, we're going to take the leg out for an inner thigh stretch, still carrying on with the hips, and we're going to sit down. I'm going to turn my foot at the bottom so the toes face the ceiling, so I'm getting all the leg stretches in here. Then I come back up. Now, if you can't go down very far, still edge that bottom back and work where you can for 10. So you need to put quite a bit of reps on, because sometimes it takes a long time for your brain to function to the muscle, especially if it's got an incorrect pattern. Now, can you start to stretch that leg out a bit more? So I'm working deeper into it. You've got to go with what your body's telling you. Stay in here and just rest into it. So you're getting a bit of a stretch as well on this, and then you're also getting a lengthening through that hamstring. Now you could further your stretch, hold your foot and bring the arm over. The head is aiming towards the leg. Opening up the chest so you're not collapsing through that rib cage. Bring the arms back, come back up, and then we're going to repeat that on the other side. Okay, so take the leg out, working on this inner. Sit down, also where you can go, turn the toes, back up. Now you can just flow with the arms or do what's best for you. So I'm going to start to go a bit deeper in this stretch. But remember, if you can't sit all the way down, that's fine. Just think about what your position is like today. You can keep repeating this video and aim towards a better position each time. I'm on my last. I'm just going to sit down and stretch this thigh, and then I'm going to reach for the toes or wherever you can reach to. You might just be the lower leg, and I'm going to bring my arm over. I'm still going to open my chest. I'm rotating through the spine here, but I'm stretching out of the pelvis. And carefully release. Okay, so we're going to come back up onto our all fours, and we're going to do our lunge stretch. So where we're stretching here, I'm going to activate the bottom, and I'm going to push through this front knee. I'm going to keep my shoulder blades back and down and my chest proud. And I'm going to squeeze that buttock. Breathe deeply into it. Then I'm going to carefully bring that leg back, and I'm going to switch it to the other side. And I'm going to repeat what we've just done. I'm going to carefully come out, and then I'm going to come all the way down onto my back, ready for my bridge position. So I'm not going to have my heels too close. I'm going to work on some little mini bridges. So slight tuck under, a squeeze of the buttocks, and a slow peel. So I'm just going to work 6 of those. So I'm starting to be aware of how my stabilising muscles are feeling. Seeing if all the correct muscles have warmed up. Really good pelvic floor. I'm still manoeuvring through the peeling of the spine. We're going to start to get taller now and squeeze up. Slowly peel down, 6 more of full bridge. And lower. We're going to take it to some windmill arms. We're going to take those arms back and really think about lengthening. So I'm being aware, is there any tightness down the sides of the back, that thread into the pelvis? If there is, then I would continue with more reps of windmill arms. Because I don't feel any tightness here, I'm just going to stick to my 12 reps. But if I did have more tightness, I'd probably be on about 20. I'm going to lengthen those legs out, keep those arms up, shoulder blades back and down, and I'm just going to do like a half banana shape. And just finish off with some full body stretch. take it back to centre, slide, and a half banana stretch to the other side. One more either side. And I'm going to bend through those legs, bring my knees over carefully. I'm going to come back onto my all fours, do one cat-cow to check of how I feel from when I first started. I'm going to tuck those toes under to come up to a standing position, and I'm just going to work a few roll downs. Chin to chest, make sure you're evenly distributing the weight between both feet. If you've got any tightness in your back or your legs still, I would probably keep about a fraction of a bend, maybe about a 15 degree, just to take the pressure off those hamstrings, because they will target the back. We're going to do one more. And as we come up, we're going to elevate those arms, do a full body stretch, shoulder blades back and down, and well done. Great work. Hope you find it useful. Bye.